Nature never ceases to surprise us, and among so many common species, there are also those that seem to have received a unique and completely out-of-the-ordinary color palette. Birds, mammals, reptiles, and fish, all with looks so improbable that they defy logic. And it is exactly these and a few other cases of animals with rare and unique colors in nature that we have gathered to present in today's video. Golden tortoise beetle. At first glance, you might think it's a piece of metal gleaming on a leaf, but this tiny golden speck, which looks like a miniature of polished gold, is actually the golden tortoise beetle, one of the most remarkable insects ever documented by science. This beetle has a transparent outer shell along its edges that acts as a natural mirror, reflecting light in a way that creates a striking metallic effect, ranging from deep gold to silvery or reddish tones, depending on the angle and lighting. Most fascinating of all, when threatened, this insect can temporarily change its color, becoming duller and less reflective in an attempt to conceal its shine, evade predators, and blend into the environment. Ayam Cemani chicken. Among all the birds on the planet, few are as surprising as the Ayam Cemani chicken. Native to Indonesia, this species is completely black, and that's not an exaggeration. Not only are its feathers black, but also its skin, meat, bones, and even internal organs. Interestingly, despite the bird's entirely black body, Ayam Cemani eggs are a light cream color, contrary to many myths and theories that claim the eggs are also black. This unique appearance is the result of a genetic mutation called fibromelanosis, which causes hyperpigmentation throughout the entire body. The outcome is a stunning bird with a rare look that has been revered for centuries in its country of origin and can fetch very high prices on the exotic bird market. Blue bee. When we think of bees, we almost instantly picture the familiar black and yellow striped body that most of them have. But as we all know, nature loves to break the rules, and proof of that lies in blue bees, fascinating species that many people don't even know exist, yet are completely real and display colors ranging from sky blue to turquoise. One great example is the blue carpenter bee, one of the most striking bee species in the world. It stands out for its sturdy body covered in metallic blue hairs that shimmer in the light, making it impossible to miss as it hovers near flowers. And unlike common bees, it doesn't live in hives, but is a solitary species that digs tunnels in dead wood or dry stems to build its nest. White lion. Few animals have a look as majestic as lions. Now imagine a lion with completely white fur. Hard to believe? Yet these animals do exist, and they are the result of a genetic mutation known as leucism, which reduces pigmentation in the fur without affecting the color of the eyes, and which is different from albinism. That's because albinism is a total lack of pigmentation, including in the eyes, which appear red due to the blood vessels, whereas in leucism, there is a partial or total loss of color in some parts of the body, but the eyes retain their normal pigmentation. Currently, most white lions in the world live in captivity, such as in zoos and sanctuaries in various countries. However, many of these animals can also be found in natural environments in some reserves in South Africa, such as the Timbavati Reserve, where cases of lions with white fur are quite common. Golden macaw. It's certainly no surprise to anyone to say that birds are one of the best examples in the animal kingdom when it comes to drawing attention with impressive looks, so it's easy to imagine that it's not at all simple to stand out in a world already so full of colorful feathers. But that certainly didn't stop this next bird here. That's because this fascinating bird you're seeing now, popularly known as the golden Latino macaw, which is the result of an extremely rare mutation of the blue and yellow macaw, has an extremely beautiful and attractive coloration, looking like it came straight out of a work of art. Different from traditional blue and yellow macaws, known for their plumage in shades of blue, yellow, green, white, and black, this variant displays a predominantly golden and shiny coloration, the result of a rare genetic mutation called xanthochromism, which intensifies yellow pigments and eliminates other colors, not just from its plumage but also from its legs and beak. However, specimens like this are extremely rare, and for that reason are considered true living jewels among bird enthusiasts, often even being mistaken for artificially painted animals. But despite their almost mythical look, they are healthy birds, and just as intelligent as any other macaw. Pink katydid. Katydids are insects similar to grasshoppers, known for their slender bodies, long legs, and green color that helps them blend into leaves. However, not all katydids have that classic green color, and the proof of that is the pink katydids. These animals are the result of a rare variation that occurs because of erythrism, a genetic mutation that alters pigment production and replaces green with pink or red, producing truly unique and exclusive specimens. However, although it is beautiful to observe, this coloration is also a huge disadvantage for the insect in nature, given that it makes it an easy prey because it is visible to any predator, and it is precisely for that reason that finding a pink katydid in nature is an extremely rare event. Spider-Man lizard. Of all the colors that nature has chosen for reptiles, probably none draws as much attention as that of the Spider-Man lizard. That's because this small lizard, found in East Africa, displays a highly unusual coloration with a body that blends shades of blue and deep red, which closely resemble the costume of the Spider-Man character, something that inspired its popular name and earned it worldwide fame. However, despite being very attractive, these colors are not just for show, but also communicate status, considering that the more vibrant the tone, the more respect a male can command within his group. Additionally, during mating season, males display stronger colors to demonstrate vigor and attract females, while at the same time intimidating other males, whereas females, on the other hand, have a more discreet brownish-gray coloration that helps them blend into the environment. Chimera cat. Chimera cats are one of the most visible examples of genetic diversity in nature and are the result of a real and extremely rare genetic phenomenon which occurs when two embryos merge into a single individual still during development in the womb. This causes the animal to carry two distinct genetic compositions which can generate visible differences on the body, such as symmetrical coloration and different colored eyes. The most well-known example of this is the cat Venus, famous for her face split into two contrasting colors, one side black with a green eye and the other orange with a blue eye. This unique look turned Venus into a social media celebrity, gaining thousands of views and followers, and also sparking the interest of many scientists over the years who have come to use her case as a classic example of natural genetic chimerism. Anna's hummingbird. Among the more than 300 hummingbird species found in the Americas, few draw as much attention as the Anna's hummingbird. That's because, while most of these tiny birds display greenish and metallic tones, this species stands out with the intense magenta-pink coloration of its head and neck, which can shift depending on the angle of light. In other words, this hummingbird literally changes color based on the angle from which it's seen. Native to the west coast of North America, this small animal has a diet composed mainly of flower nectar and small arthropods, using its long beak and specialized tongue to feed, and this remarkable ability to change coloration is exclusive to the males, given that females display a more subdued coloration. Glasswing butterfly. When one thinks of butterflies, what comes to mind are vibrant patterns, eye-catching designs, and colorful wings. However, this is not the case with the glasswing butterfly. This extraordinary species is native to the tropical forests of Central and South America, and its common name describes exactly its appearance. That's because the wings of this butterfly are, for the most part, as transparent as glass, the result of a microscopic structure that prevents light reflection. That way, instead of colorful pigments, what you see is the background of the environment through its wings, which helps provide excellent camouflage from predators. Blue lobster. Now let's talk about the blue lobster, one of the rarest genetic variations, not only among crustaceans but also among all aquatic animals in the world. That's because estimates indicate that out of every 2 million lobsters, only one presents this unusual blue coloration, the result of a mutation that alters how certain pigments interact with the proteins of the exoskeleton. And for this reason, when a specimen is found, it is usually taken to public aquariums or research centers, where it becomes a true living rarity. Technically speaking, this mutation does not affect the animal's daily life or behavior, which continues living among rocks and feeding on fish and mollusks. However, this flashy color can be a disadvantage in nature if we consider that this blue tone makes it more easily visible both to fishermen and natural predators. Gouldian finch. Native to the tropical regions of northern Australia, where it lives in open savannas near watercourses, the Gouldian finch is one of the most colorful birds ever recorded, as it displays on its body combinations of green, yellow, orange, black, white, blue, purple, and red, in a contrast so intense it seems unreal. These birds feed mainly on seeds, but also consume small insects, especially during the breeding season, when they need additional protein. And this exuberant coloration is not just for aesthetics, because those vibrant feathers are also an indicator of good health. The most interesting thing about all this is that there are 3 natural variations of this species, differentiated by the color of their heads, which can be red, orange, or black, whereas in captivity, the number of variations is much greater, with over 96 regulated color types and numerous fixed mutations. Halloween crab. Found mainly in humid tropical regions, from Mexico to Venezuela, usually near mangroves, coastal forests, and riverbanks, the Halloween crab is one of the most curious and incredible crab species in the world, known for the striking contrast of its colors that make it literally look like it's dressed up for Halloween, which ended up earning it its popular name, inspired by that holiday. The Halloween crab's diet is omnivorous, consisting of decomposing leaves, fallen fruit, insects, and small vertebrates, and despite its flashy appearance, it is a nocturnal and shy animal, which, when in its natural habitat, generally spends the day hidden in burrows dug into the sand or coastal vegetation, which makes encounters with this animal in the wild quite rare. Weaver ants. golden beetles, blue bees, pink katydids, and butterflies with transparent wings. All of these are insects with truly impressive looks, but do you know what's missing to make this list perfect? Yes, exactly that, green-colored ants. And it's precisely about them that we're going to talk now. Famous for their unique building style, weaver ants, also known as green ants, are a remarkable genus of ants that stand out both for their unique nest-building skills using silk and leaves and for the distinctive green coloration that the workers of some species display on their abdomen. While the queens have a body of an almost entirely green color, these fantastic architects can be found mainly in tropical regions of Asia, Africa, and Oceania, and build their nests in trees, stitching live leaves together with the help of their larvae, which produce silk that the adult ants use as glue to bind the edges of the leaves and create light but extremely resistant structures. Golden snub-nosed monkey. The golden snub-nosed monkey is a primate that has a distinctive golden fur, darker in males, which covers almost its entire body. In addition to this unique and very beautiful coat, another striking feature of the golden monkey is its bluish face, a rare trait among mammals. Moreover, they exhibit an upturned nose with forward-facing nostrils, which gives them a rather peculiar appearance. Sexual dimorphism in this species is evident not only in coloration but also in size, as males are significantly larger than females. Currently, the golden snub-nosed monkey is considered an animal that plays a vital role in the ecosystem where it lives, contributing to seed dispersal and maintaining forest balance. However, it also faces extinction threats due to hunting, deforestation, and human expansion, which has restricted its presence to 3 mountainous regions in central China. White snake. Just like in the case of the white lions we've already seen, the term white snake does not refer to a specific species of these animals, but rather to a rare condition that can occur in different species due to genetic alterations that affect pigment production in the skin, in most cases caused by leucism, although extremely rare cases of albinism can also occur in these animals. However, although this white coloration is visually striking, it represents an evolutionary disadvantage since it eliminates the natural camouflage of these animals and makes them more easily visible, not only to predators, but also to their prey, which end up spotting the conspicuous presence of these white snakes from afar and thus have time to flee, which makes the survival chances of albino or leucistic snakes in the wild very low and makes sightings of these animals in their natural state extremely rare. Blue parrotfish. The blue parrotfish is one of the most visually striking marine species in the western tropical Atlantic. Found in areas such as the Caribbean and the coast of Brazil, it stands out for its vibrant and uniform blue coloration, which covers its entire body. This intense blue is not common among reef fish, and its continuous shine is the result of natural pigments combined with microscopic structures in the skin that refract light, generating this fantastic coloration that plays an important role both in identification among members of the species and in communication during adulthood. But in addition to this remarkably distinct coloration, another striking aspect of this species' appearance is related to its dentition, which is quite different from that of other fish. That's because its numerous teeth are arranged in a compact mosaic on the outer part of its jawbones, forming this type of beak similar to that of a parrot, with which they scrape algae from corals and other rocky substrates. Okapi. Before we talk about this next animal here, let's do a test to see if with just 3 clues you can guess what it is. It's a mammal with a body that resembles a horse, has a herbivorous diet consisting of low vegetation, leaves, shoots, branches, and fruits, and has black and white stripes on its body. Okay, I know this challenge seems easy. After all, putting all those clues together, this animal can only be a zebra, right? But that's not the correct answer. That's because now we're going to talk about the Okapi, one of the most unique mammals on the planet, known precisely for combining features that resemble different animals, but whose main highlight is the black and white stripe pattern on its legs that makes it look like a zebra. Although despite this unusual appearance, it has no relation whatsoever to those animals, but is actually the closest living relative of giraffes, endemic to the tropical rainforests of the Democratic Republic of Congo. This distinctive, solitary, and diurnal animal plays an important ecological role in seed dispersal within forests due to its herbivorous diet. However, because it lives in hard-to-reach areas and exhibits discrete behavior, the okapi remained unknown to Western science until the early 20th century, and it is currently classified as endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature due to illegal hunting and habitat destruction caused by logging and mining. Pink dolphin. Now let's talk about the pink dolphin, simply one of the most emblematic aquatic mammals of the Amazon. Unlike marine dolphins, this species lives exclusively in freshwater rivers, being adapted to environments with slow currents, murky waters, and shores covered with vegetation. And its coloration, which can vary from light gray to deep pink, is not caused by pigments, but by the dilation of blood vessels under the skin, which intensifies when the animal warms up or is active. However, it's not just its appearance that impresses, considering that the pink dolphin also has one of the most developed brains among cetaceans and is known for its high level of intelligence intelligence, being capable of complex social behaviors, such as cooperation in hunting and playful interactions between individuals. Golden horse. And to wrap it up, let's talk about the Akhal-Teke horse, one of the oldest and most unique breeds ever domesticated by humans, and which is known worldwide as the golden horse. Originating from Turkmenistan, this lineage has records dating back over 3,000 years, descending from horses bred by nomadic tribes in the Karakum Desert region, and its main characteristic is its metallic coat, which reflects light and produces a golden shine, noticeable even from a distance. This effect is the result of a microscopic structure in the hairs, where the outer layers are thinner and translucent, allowing light to penetrate and reflect diffusely, creating this simply majestic and magnificent appearance. Currently, it is estimated that there are fewer than 7,000 individuals in the world, concentrated in Russia, China, and especially in Turkmenistan, where the breed is considered a national treasure and even appears printed on stamps, currency notes, and official national symbols. But what do you think? Which animal had the most surprising and fantastic color on this list? Leave a comment telling us which one impressed you the most. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the content we bring here. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.